Maverick overview. It is still in prototype stage phase, but here we go. Let's start with the swing arm. So the swing arm is chromoly steel, super tough, hard, robust, but also fairly lightweight material. This was custom made by Domo, and he did an amazing job. I think the stretch is about 4.5 inches, and it was pretty much custom made to accommodate this big old QS 138 70H V1. But he pretty much made this from scratch. A really, really nice swing arm. We also have some big dropouts there that give me some headroom if I want to upgrade the wheel set to 12 inches. And then it has like the conventional dirt bike type of setup right here for to move the wheel back so I don't have to run a chain tensioner. So that is nice. And to the powertrain, this is the QS 13870H V1. It is rated for 3,000 watts, but I think I'm peaking at about 18,000 watts. That's 18 kilowatts. So it's these QS motors are very underrated, and it barely gets warm. It's not like the MY 1020 that gets hot pretty quick, even if you have cooling mods. This is a very robust, nice motor. The power delivery is very different. It's on the paired with this Votal. This is the Votal EM200-2. On the power delivery is very smooth. It's definitely on the mid to the higher end, not like the square wave trapezoidal like Kelly KVDs that a lot of people were on that I was running for a while. This is very smooth. It's very linear, a lot more progressive. It runs a lot quieter too, but I really like the the QS motor and the EM 200 setup. It's really great, and I got this kit, so it's pretty much the Votal, the DKD Dash, the switches, the harnesses. Pro Throttle, all from Electron Company. They did an amazing job with the tuning. It feels so good. It's very smooth. I really like they have amazing customer service, customer support, as I always mention. But they did an amazing job. Shout out to Austin from Electron Company for all this and for continually helping me, and to Domo as well for the swing arm. This is a 428 chain and sprocket setup, 40 tooth in the rear, and then that is a 11 tooth for the motor. This is getting me to about, I've hit 66. I actually made a video yesterday, as some of you have seen, but honestly, I let off like really quick. There's a lot more road, but I don't know. I just wasn't ready for it, and I kind of had to dial in some things just to make it safer and reliable. But this setup is definitely upwards of 70 miles an hour. Easy, very easy. So there's the chain and sprocket setup. I got this sprocket from Electron Company as well. They were able to get it made for the RSF bolt pattern. This is the stock RSF wheel, aftermarket tires, 3.5 by 10 PMT black fires. Very great tires. I love these tires. Radial compound, a lot softer. But there is the sprocket setup. Votal controller, EM200-2. I believe this is a 200 amp continuous. It's currently set at about 250 battery amps. It's capable of 300, so I do have headroom for the controller, which is nice. And I also have headroom for the phase amps. So it can do 550 phase amps. Right now it's set at, oh no, it can do, yes, 550 phase amps. It's currently set at 500. So I have 50 more phase amps and 50 more battery amps to push through this. And not really maxing it out yet because of the battery, but right now it's actually way more than enough, to be honest. So this is a great controller. It is a sine wave, a lot smoother, runs quieter, and it's also tuned for electric braking. It's not modulated through a throttle, but it pretty much activates automatically once the throttle's off. I checked my amp BMS and it got up to like 11 amps for regen. I was going pretty fast, but so that's nice. It pretty much just automatically engages anytime I let off the throttle, so that's nice. And then that can also be turned up or down depending on the setup as well. Battery, the battery that I've been running for all my setups, it's a 72 volt, 29.4 amp hour Moly cell P42A, 120 amp continuous 300 amp peak amp BMS made by my boy Knack, who passed away not too long ago. So definitely in memory of him for this battery. Performs really well. I've been running on all my setups. My other setup over there, great battery. Love it. DKD Dash also comes with the Electron Company kit and these 3 speed mode switches and the on and off switch. So turn it on there. Very nice. It has the speedometer, ODO, trip meter, battery life, and then it has even an amp meter times 10. And then it also shows what speed you're in. So right now, speed mode 1, that is about 125 amps battery. 2 is 185 amps, and then 4 is 250 battery amps. Super gnarly setup, y'all. Really good. The speedometer is accurate. I compared it to the GPS on my phone, which is the speedometer app, and it's accurate. I did a video yesterday and everything matches up. So here's a little quick rip video. Woo! Thing's loud. But this setup is crazy, y'all. Super fast. I love the power delivery. Really, really great setup. This is pretty much what I've been trying to build for a little street ripper, and was able to do it with the help of Domo and Austin and, collective others as well. Super happy all with this. MT8 race line brakes in the rear. I was running my MT7 Pros, but had an issue with that, so I'm running these temporarily. I did have to do some ghetto stuff. It is a prototype, so pretty much there's a bunch of different kinds of washers in here to get the right spacing. And this is for a mountain bike brake disc conversion. It's kind of sandwiched in between there with the calipers and then mounted to the swing arm. I have screws going in through this way and then nuts on the back side. Definitely not sufficient for this setup, but with the front MT7 Pros, those are quad piston, so that helps. And then the electronic braking helps as well. And to the front here is a 12-volt horn, super loud right there. Naval headlight, and then I also have a LED strip, which is red and then white for the underglows. I have it hooked up to the switch, which also has a LED in the front there. There's a light, strip, and then turn it off. Pretty cool. My step down is right here. That is a 72 volt to 12 volt step down. I think it's about 12 amps, 12 or 15, one of those. I think it's 15 actually, 15 amp step down. To finish off the kit from Electron Company, this is their Pro throttle. It's different from their light throttle that comes with the Razor kits. It's better build quality and the spring is stiffer. I really like the feel of this. Great throttle. Highly recommended, y'all. I think that's about it. There are the levers. I think I covered everything for the most part. Oh, forgot the rear shock. This is a Fast Ace rear shock. It is 11 inches. I believe that's 280 millimeters with adjustable rebound. I have it on pretty much the softest setting, so it doesn't give that pogo feel. I did have to add a spacer right there on the top just because it was dipping a little too low, even with the preset. I mean, I kind of cranked this thing as much as I could for the preset. Still a little too soft. I probably need like a 650 pound spring. This is a 550. But now it sits well. gussets to reinforce the top portion of the frame. I've seen it where it's failed here for some people. It's very rare, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Pez did that for me. Shout out to you, Pez. Thank you for helping me with that. Luna float seat from Luna-Cycle. It's just zip tied from the bottom there. But and Pez also, I had to grind down the stock one, so Pez put a new one there and drilled some holes and welded it to the frame. And thank you, Pez, for that. I have a voltmeter there. But there it is, y'all. This is a beast. I'm actually scared. This thing's a little scary, but it's a good scary. I love it. This thing, the power delivery, it's smooth, it's progressive, it's linear. But if you just want to cruise, it's there too. It's actually very safe. It's not jerky like a square wave throttle, so the throttle modulation is very, very predictable. It's very smooth. I wish, you guys could test it, but unfortunately that's not possible. But I hope this kind of gives you guys an idea of the build. These are also, forgot about the forks. These were made by Keenan at Volkswagen AutoWorks. This is a prototype fork. So not, there's always issues with prototypes, right? So if you watch my last video, you can tell that I don't know if you can tell from here, but the forks didn't really set straight inside of the triple razor stock clamp. But it's still, it still runs straight and everything. The forks actually started leaking a little bit yesterday, right here. So the forks are leaking. Hopefully, I can get with Keaton soon and then get something a little bit better. But they still do the job for now. Definitely better than the stock forks or even an upgraded razor fork. But there it is, y'all. Project Maverick. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or need clarification on anything.